People think, thanks to misinformation, that Kundalini activation and Kundalini awakening are the same thing. That Kundalini awakening is all about releasing your traumas and growing as a person that way. Well, yeah, okay, that's Kundalini activation. You can release your traumas, you can have massive releases of endorphins, of serotonin. As you release these emotions, you feel amazing. It's an amazing process, don't get me wrong. It is very transformational, just as hypnotherapy can be. But that is not what Kundalini awakening is about. Kundalini awakening is about going beyond yourself. It's about realizing, how do I say this? In any dimension above 2, so 3 dimensions and above, the unit of 1 doesn't exist. Eh? What do you mean? I'm 3-dimensional. I exist. No. Why? Because there is not 1. There is inside, there is outside. Because if I am 1, I'm 1 of my physical body. That's what we're taught. Standard education teaches us that. But do I not have a personal space that is outside of me? So I have the inside, I have the outside. But that outside, how far is it? Is my personal space here? Can I grow it? Well, it gets bigger. So then where does this stop? Where does the connection stop? Well, it's actually infinite. So it's much like the shape of a sphere, the shape of a circle. We could say that represents 1. It doesn't represent 1. The circle is the infinite. The sphere is the infinite. It's not 1. So what is the 3-dimensional shape that represents 1? 1 triangle. Well, it's a 3-sided shape and it has an inside and outside. A rectangle. Well, that's a 4-sided shape and it has an inside and an outside. It's a weird concept. And many people are like, of course there's 1. Because you haven't realized and accepted there's an inside and an outside. Therefore, there is no 1 because there's inside and outside. That might take a long time for people to process. But there is no unit of 1 in 3 dimensions or above. When we realize this, and when we fully awaken the Kundalini, when we connect Shakti with Shiva and arrive at that cosmic energy and that cosmic connection, we realize we are not 1, we are fully connected. And we can experience things that we cannot describe in words. And we can have visions, and we will see things, and we will understand things that people have actually tried to explain in every culture for thousands of years and failed because they've tried to explain it in words. And it's not about words, it's about experiences. If you wish to have one of these experiences, come take a course, come take a training with me, and we can get you there, theawakenenergy.com. It's about going beyond this dimension, this reality. It's way more than just releasing your traumas and feeling good. It's not for most people. I'll also tell you that. Most people are not ready for it. They are too stuck in the mundane world, too stuck in the matrix. But if you are, perhaps you've done many years of Qigong, many years of yoga, many years of meditation. And you can't quite put your finger on it, but you know there's more. Or perhaps you're just a very spiritual person and you know there's more. Perhaps you have some psychic ability, clairvoyance, clairaudience, clairsentience, claircognition. Perhaps you have these funny sensations and you know there's a deeper connection there. And you know there's more, and you've been looking about how to get there. This is what I offer in my courses and trainings. How to get there. I will take you to the door. Now, if you have doubts, if you have fears, if you haven't done the preparatory work, it can be from a waste of time to almost dangerous for you. If you have mental, what should we call them? Things going on. So I wouldn't recommend this for people suffering, unfortunately, from schizophrenia, from bipolar, just because it could be very traumatic, the process. And of course, there are dangers that arise, Kundalini syndrome, do your research. I talk about this on other videos. I go into it very deeply in the trainings, or in some of the trainings, my 52-week course training, because it's very important to realize it. And that comes from a lack of balance. A lack of balance of the electrical energies and magnetical energies. A lack of balance from releasing the ego, from not releasing your traumas, from holding on to something, from releasing fear to come into a stable position. But it is so much more. There is so much more. And the interesting thing here is, as people awaken and go deeper, people have the same, not identical, because the brain will interpret things in different ways for you to receive it the best way. But time and time again, people have the same experiences. Now, of course, we could say, well, people have the same experiences because of their programming. But people have the same experiences from different cultures. And the details change, but the experience stays the same. This is where this gets interesting. And you can see these things all around the world, in every culture, through history. But they're not stuff that is programmed and given to us from our culture. It's stuff that's outside, it's subtle, it's there. And then when you get to experience these things, wow, you just start to embrace the knowing. You start to embrace the fact that there is so much more. What can I say? Come try it. If you're ready, if you're a person that is truly ready to take that step. Perhaps you're a person that's done a Kundalini activation course. And you've got to the point, it's like, okay, yes, I've gone through all the healing and I've gone through, and I do this with other people, but really myself, I have to say, yeah, I know there's more to this. I want to go deeper. You've done level 1, you've done level 2. Great. Let's go deeper. Up to you. If not, just subscribe to the channel, hit that notification button for more information. Take your time, do your research, see what else I have to offer. There is no rush on this. It's not going anywhere. feel comfortable, get to know me through my videos. If you go to my website, you can even book if you're really interested in taking a training course but have questions or particular reservations, I offer there free Q&A sessions where you can ask me those questions, only for people seriously wanting to take the trainings, because obviously I am offering my time for free, and it's not just for any random person to ask questions or try and state their opinion to me, because don't waste my time, don't waste yours. If you're really interested in doing it, and of course you can afford to take the trainings, because obviously I do charge for them. Life costs money. There are some people that say, oh, spiritual stuff should be free. Well, if something has to be free, that means it's only something that's amateur. And what is the difference between something being amateur and professional? Well, let me give you an analogy. Rugby. Rugby in the 80s, the Northern Hemisphere rugby was amateur. So you had to have a job to play rugby. And in the Southern Hemisphere, it was professional, it was paid. And so time after time after time, the Southern Hemisphere teams, when they met with Northern Hemisphere teams, crushed them. Very, very rarely, if they were having an off day or didn't have a full team, then, the main players, then maybe a Northern Hemisphere team had a chance at getting close. But as soon as the Northern Hemisphere teams turned professional, everything changed. So if someone in the spiritual world actually accepts money, they can dedicate their time to doing something, and they can go so much further than just being an amateur. And this is why I charge. So I can do this professionally, so I can give you something much better and not just something amateur. And I can spend my time not stuck at one level, just doing the same with the same, with the same, with the same, repeating over and over and over and over, which YouTube tries to get people to do. It loves it when you just repeat the same thing over and over and over. There are huge channels that have just got these people, spiritual people, amazing people, but they've just got stuck because that's what the algorithm pushes for them. That's what their clients like to see, because they're stuck in their processes and never go further. This is about going further. It's about going deeper. Evolution, progress. If you're interested, theawakeningenergy.com, theawakeningenergy.com. Come check me out. Let's go deeper together.